Hey everybody, it is William. I'm coming at you with another video. I am going to try to do a walkthrough of setting up for wing boot. Obviously, my camera angle is not the greatest. I tried really hard to get the whole thing in the picture, but this is just an initial setup anyways, and it's also a learning experience for me because I can see if I'm doing it right anyways, which I believe I am. But I'm gonna go ahead and walk through everything. I'm gonna read it step by step, and you guys get to come along with me for this little journey to see if we're doing it right. So here we go. We're gonna go ahead and start. I'm gonna start because this game you can either start as the bomb run player, where you're reading off the instructions as if you had played your game, and of course, so you'd know where you're landing, you know what zone you are at, all that stuff. What encounter you are on at that zone, if you're going towards the target or away from the target. So we are not doing that. We're going to do the standalone wing boot player. This is what we're going to do. So the first thing we're going to do is number one, as we're following along, I'm here. Determine your mission's target from the targets chart, which is here. Place a straight edge between the point in England, here, and your target. Roll a d10. So there we go. First, I'm going to figure out which target I'm headed, so I'm going to go ahead and roll a die. I like my blue one better. Okay, we'll do that. 9. So we're at Leipzig, which is way over here, just out of range of my camera. Let me go ahead and... Ooh, wow, it's really far here. It says, determine your mission's target, which we did. Place a straight edge between the point in England and your target. So I'm going to go ahead and also put a empty player standee there so that I can see that's where I am. Roll d10. And starting from zone 1, count the number on the dice to the target and back to zone 1. And then back. So you're basically going back and forth until you exhaust your numbers. And that means, so wherever you stop with the numbers is where you were when you went down, going towards or away from the target. And you got to remember which way you were going in the count. So let's do the number. 10. So we're going to go ahead and go starting from zone 1. I'm going to count back and forth. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I was going towards the target in the zone 3 when I got shot down. So I was probably in the initial first couple encounters when that happened. All right. Okay, so until you've reached a number on your dice, note whether you were counting out or back to the target, which I was counting back towards it. You were either on your way to the target or heading home when you got shot down, for story context. If your target is in zone 1, then skip this because you obviously went down in zone 1. Okay, so all players, that's okay. Place an empty blue standee in the zone along the line between your target and your base, which I did. Basically I was there. Place the green slider in your progress tab in its appropriate region. Place the red enemy slider clip to its maximum level and the blue friendly slider clip to the maximum level, and reduce it by a number of your current region, which is the white rings. So as you can see, these are the zones going out. So you got England, English Channel, zone 1, 2, 3, 4. And these white rings are progress going towards Spain. So you have 7 regions. Region 7 is deep into Germany, which happens to be where I landed. I landed it looks like on the far end of Germany here. That's crazy. So I'm in region 7. I'm pretty much maxed out all the way. And because I was heading towards the target, it would be 25, 26, or 27 where I actually went down. So I'm going to put my green slider in the appropriate region. See, place green slider clip on the progress tab in the appropriate region. Move it up so you can see. See, I made these. The book itself has cutouts, so you can do the cutouts and fold them up. But I was like, oh, I love books so much, so I couldn't cut it. I couldn't do it. So But that's where that is. It's in Region 7, number 25. Okay, then it says, place the red enemy slider clip to its maximum level. This is over here in the initiative. Draw. 4, and it goes all the way 3, 2, 1, and then it goes 0, 0, 0. So the enemy has a maximum of 4. And the blue friendly slider clip to maximum level as well, and reduce it by the number of your current region, the white range rings. So right here, I gotta go from 4 and go down by 7. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'm basically all the way 0. Pew! Straight down to 0. Oh, here we go. Whoa, a little higher. I'm at down to 0. Alright. Place a day-night token off to the right of the book on its day side, along with the resistance card and the resistance token and 1 parachute token. I'll show you what these look like. That's my parachute token. That's a day-night clip. That's resistance with their token. Alright. And then it says on the bottom, turn the page and read paragraph 0. So we're going to go to paragraph 0. Here we are. Paragraph 0. Go up a little bit so you can follow along. I don't even know if you can read this, but I'll read it. Flying along in your bomber, trying to keep her in the air when suddenly your life changes. I am not a bomb run player. Designated, you see it's BR, bomb run player. I'm a wing boot player. So right here. Roll a D10. I got a 1. 1 through 7, I get to go to paragraph 1, which is here. 2 is there. Oh boy. Off the screen again. This is paragraph 1, and it's easy to understand. That's paragraph 2. I rolled a 1, which is, I happen to have a controlled bailout. The order of abandoned ship is the only thing going through your mind. Your fellow crewmen scramble to disconnect their communication wires, harnesses, and heated suit wires. Flak vests and helmets are unceremoniously abandoned. The aircraft is steady and level, but without a doubt, she's doomed. You check your parachute harness and find it secured, like they showed you in training. You grab your survival pack on the way to the exit, but the bomber lurches, throwing you against the sidewall and sending the contents of your pack across the floor. Now, it wants me to roll a D10. I rolled a 7. So looking through here, 5 through 7. Picking yourself up, the bomber begins the list, sending items further from reach, but you're able to grab 1 item and stuff it in your pocket as the tilting bomber tumbles you to the exit. Draw 1 token at a time until you pull an item, then keep it. Return all other tokens, but as you can see, depending on what happens, you can draw a token. If it's time, keep it, otherwise return it because it's crazy in the bomber and you didn't have a chance to grab something. This one, you can definitely pick something up. This one, you can actually choose what you get. So depending on how well you rolled. So I'm here. I get to go through this bag, which is I already have it set up. See, got my bag. Shake it up a little bit. I get to go through this and draw a token until I get an item. So let's hope I get something cool. Oh, I get a knife. So I'll put this up here with my crew member that I've randomly mixed up for myself. All right, so here we go. After this, I go to paragraph 3. Paragraph 3 is a little further down. Let's move you here. I'm kind of forcing it. As you descend and break through the clouds, the landscape opens up, revealing the vast rural countryside with small to medium-sized towns connected by roads and rivers. Luckily, there are no major cities immediately below you. As far as you can tell, you are alone up here, but you keep watch for your crewmates. And then it's on the other side. Okay. It says, for Wing Boot, using the 10 crew cards that come with the Wing Boot, determine the number of survivors from their doomed B-17. I get to roll on the D10. 6 people survived. Now, I already mixed these cards up, so here are the survivors. I randomly drew the radio operator. I'm going to be the radio operator. Then the other survivors will be starboard waist gunner, the bombardier, ball turret gunner, tail gunner, and the flight engineer. Because it's a total of 6. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So those are the 6 survivors. Sadly, port waist gunner, co-pilot, pilot, and navigator. A lot of the guys in the front and the port waist gunner did not make it. So what I'm going to do is with their tokens, I'm going to look for the guys that didn't make it. So we got co-pilot didn't make it. Navigator. Port waist gunner. And the pilot. Where's the pilot? Pilot. So these guys are the tokens that made it. These guys didn't. I'm just going to put them aside because you put the guys that made it back in the token bag for when you do crew searches. Alright, so these are the deceased. I'm going to put them over out of the way. Alright. So this is my guy. Remember, we grabbed the knife on the way out. Thank goodness. If I have a choice, I'm grabbing the compass. Compass allows you to progress by 2 in each region, which is amazing. Okay, anyways. These are the tokens that are going to wind up back in the bag. Let me get my radio operator token out. Radio. See, radio token. These are going to go back in the draw bag for, like I said, for when you crew searches when you're on the ground. Alright, so mix it up. Okay, so they're mixed up. Put my guy over here. Those guys are over there. I'm going to continue reading. It is on this side. Oh, I really can't wait till I get a better mount. Okay. Anyways, I did the 10-sided die. Remaining crew cards and their matching tokens are removed from the game. I already did that. They have perished. Okay, so looking around you, above you and below, you see... Go to paragraph 4. I see nobody. Hopefully they made it. Place a survivor stack to the bottom of this book. You may conduct your free survivor check when you exit maps from the bottom. Go to paragraph 8. So all these guys that survived, I'm going to put them at the bottom of the book, which doesn't exist because my table's not there. I'll put it on the bed, I guess, over here. See, tiny space, tiny space. Go to paragraph 8. So here we go, paragraph 8. I'm just going to read along. You continue your descent and your mind turns to survival. Eventually, the ground features become evident and you can start to predict where you're going to land. Go to paragraph 10. Okay, so paragraph 10. The ground rushes to meet you faster than you anticipate and you hit a lot harder than you thought you would. For you and any other crewman that came down in your vicinity, refer to injury chart on your first map page. Okay, so what I'm going to do, just on the first map page right here. As you can see here, I'm going to roll. Hopefully I don't die on impact. That'll make the really short game. 8. No injury when I landed. Injury will affect how fast you can move, how many tokens you're drawing, how much time you need to heal. Injuries can really mess you up and really like waste your time because you're trying to like hide and heal and get away from your pursuers. And if you're only moving like 1 square, sometimes you can't even move at all and you got to wait for yourself to go from incapacitated to waking up in a field and hope to God that no one ran across you. So, okay, anyways. We hit the ground, we're okay. Here we go. As you start to take stock of your situation, you become keenly aware of everything. You look around and see where you've landed. Now I'm going to roll. It says on the instructions. Oh, I wish I... stupid mouth. Roll D10 and turn that many pages. So I'm going to turn 3 pages. 1, 2, 3. Come on, 3. Roll D10 twice. Well, I happen to have 2. So roll D10 twice to determine your XY grid. Then place a standee in that grid on the left-hand page. Repeat these steps for any crew that are in your vicinity, but on the opposite page, because you got to go to them and meet up with them. Use a parachute token, clue token, for each crew on the map, and place it with the downed airman. If there are more than 3, then use a clue from the bag. Okay, so then the last instruction for us, evade. Nice. So I'm going to take my crew card. I'm going to put him, I mean, there's not a lot of place I can put him, unfortunately. It's still a little space in here. Put him beside me. I'm going to take my crew's token, and I'll also put this item on his card. Alright, so what we're going to do is, this is the page we landed on. We need to populate this side with my crew member. Come on. Oh. Well, I'm messing up everything, aren't I, here? Anyways, we'll try our best. He's going to populate. I always go black to blue. He's going to populate on 6-9. So as you can see on this, over 6, down 9. 6-9. So this is where my guy ended up landing. With, by the way, a clue, which is his parachute. All I can now say is welcome to Germany, because that's where we are. We are deep within Germany, 7 regions deep. We got him. Find our way back. Now, that's the initial setup. Pretty simple. Here are my crew cards. If I move south, I can do a crew search. That's in the instructions. Everything, I mean, it starts here. I'm in the middle of the day, landed in a field, basically on a road, and I got to get out of there. And so my first move, I'm not hurt, I landed safely, would probably to head. These aren't actual directions. This is just page directions. I'd be heading south to get out of this area, and which would reduce my. We would reduce the enemy's initiative. So their enemy initiative right there is 4. That's how many tokens they can draw out of the bag. It would go down 1 for every movement. It goes down 1. And if you go this way, which is progress towards Spain, which I'll say north, you go north, it reduces initiative and increases your initiative, because what I'm finding is that the more cards they draw, the more enemies that can be on the map. The more cards my guys can draw, the friendly forces can draw, the less chances that an enemy is going to go, because you discard enemy tokens on a friendly draw. But and that's, like I said, and that's over here. Player takes their action. Higher initiative, which right now is the Germans. Lower initiative will be friendly forces, civilians, you know that kind of that. Here's what the players can do. You can move out, and there's different instructions for how to move out. Let me pull up this. As you can see, player actions, we got the move outs. They can move rapidly. Here we go. Man, this camera mount is bouncing everywhere. They can move rapidly, 5 squares. You can move 5, but you have to draw 3 because you're creating a lot of ruckus. Gives you more chances to draw clues so they can get on you. So it's you can make some good time, but you're drawing more tokens and getting more noticed. You discard any items you find. You can find items in searches. You raise the red and blue slider clips, obviously, because you're rushing. You cannot rapid move in consecutive turns unless you are being pursued, because you're being chased, or if you use a canteen. The canteen is another item you can find. It's basically water. Gives you a little break, take a chug of water, keep moving. Normal's 3 squares, draw 2 tokens, discard items. And these are where your injuries come into play. If you're lightly injured, it's a -1 movement, but you draw an additional token. Seriously injured, -2 squares, draw another token, discard items, and you raise both the red and blue slider clips. Critical is only 1 square, you're only moving 1. Draw 2 tokens, discard items, raise those clips. And oh my gosh, I'm off the thing. And incapacitated, you don't move at all because you're unconscious. And it shows you cool stuff. Like if you move stealth, it's 1 square, draw 1 token, discard items, and your alert range. Let me get an example for what you're looking at here. This is, for example, the K9 unit. Their alert range is 4. And it's so high because it's obviously it's a K9 unit, so they're using dogs to try to chase you down. See, it's 3 for an enemy agent, 3 for foot patrol, 2 for mounted units because they're moving quite fast on the road and just flying. Civilians are 2. He's a 2. Kids look at 3 because obviously kids are, you know, they notice everything. Like my kids. Anyways, so yeah, like, so stealth there will reduce your alert range by 2, so you can basically almost be invisible walking around and like being really stealthy. But you can only do that if you're healthy or you only have a light injury. All right, roads and buildings. So if you go into these areas, you see here you get a increased movement rate if for any time you use 2 or more squares. So if you're just walking on a road, you get a bonus movement. If you cross a road, it's free. It's a free movement, but you have to draw 1 token for using it and discard the items, and then your alert range is increased by 1, including just crossing a road, because you're being more noticeable. You crossed the road, very noticeable. People see you, start reporting you, and it's easier to see you from that. Going across rivers, kind of same thing. You get 2 squares. You roll combat result, probably to see if you drown or you get hurt trying to cross a river. Use items that are being held by you. You can search, and it shows you the results of searching. I'll let you go through that. Hiding yourself for a clue. Go through that. Talk to a civilian's a thing, and you can rest and do some first aid on yourself. And there's all the information for this. Items are here. They kind of tell you more detail what items are used for, or what they do. Alright, and then I pointed out here, this is a more brief version of what they do, but make sure you read it, because sometimes tokens have different rules. Like having a car is awesome, but then it changes up how combat works. Okay, so you know, I feel like I've described it well enough. Get this game and you know, let's see some playthroughs and go on the forums at Board Game Geek and, you know, share your stories. All right, thank you very much and have a good evening. Like and subscribe, and I appreciate anybody who subscribes, because I really want to get my channel out there, and you know, I want to see how big this channel can get. I have big dreams. Anyways, I'm kidding. Anyways, have a good evening, everybody, and thanks.